This is one of the most difficult spots, timelines for making a presentation. 5:30, 5:31 in the evening, nobody expects audience to be around, nobody expects audience to be awake. But if I promise you that I am going to keep the discussion short, maybe under 10 minutes, do I have your full attention? Oh, thank you. So the following 10 minutes, I am going to talk about, ma'am, do we have a mic?
Yes, we have a mic.
The following maybe 9 minutes, I am going to talk about little bit of PW Foundation, and there are different ways of doing good. I mean, there's a great theme, doing good for Bharat. So there's no one way. There are like a million ways. We have chosen a few paths, 4 fundamental routes. Thank you. So the agenda is pretty simple. Social change through education. Education is our mountain. So everybody, I mean, all of us, physically, mentally, emotionally, we choose our mountain. What's the mountain I want to climb. For us at PW Foundation, education is the main mountain. We are wanting to climb for the rest of our lives and ensuring that positive social change comes through education. The agenda items are a little bit about PW. I'll keep it for maybe a minute or so, about PW Foundation, another minute. Then the theory of change. How do we want to bring about change? We've all talked about Viksit Bharat, we've all talked about 2047, how the world, how the country is going to be, how we are going to be, etc. Whether we are going to be really developed, or is it just a pipe dream? So a little bit of how to achieve the end goal. And the last is theory of change and action. So at PW, we don't necessarily measure the age of the company in number of years, because it's a fairly young organization. We are about 1600 days old, about 16,000 people. PW Foundation is about 800 to 900 days old, so about 900 days old now. So it's like relatively young. However, with the 16,000 team members, we've been able to achieve something which is a little bit of a miracle. I don't know if some of you may have heard of Khan Academy, which is like, Bill Gates' children used to study on Khan Academy. It's a globally available big platform. Khan Academy does about 7 billion minutes, learner minutes every month. Physics Wala does about 600 billion minutes. So that's the kind of scale that we've been able to achieve, and we have been able to achieve this scale because of a few reasons, largely about designing the product for the bottom 80% of India. So most of the education companies, they focus on big cities for obvious economic and financial reasons. We have focused by design on the bottom 80% of India. We've got 4.5, in fact this number has changed, 4,500 teachers is nearly 5,000 teachers, more than 1,000 live classes every day. Some of our classes have as high as 50,000 students attending in real-time mode and in two-way interactive manner. More than 12,000 hours of content gets uploaded on our platform every day. And 40K doubts are solved. I'll also come to this doubts aspect, and then about 52 lakh question bank with video and text solution. So that's about driving change at scale. So overall, we've got about little over 5 crore students using our platform, which makes us largest in India, one of the largest in the world. And also, you'll be happy to note, out of 5 crore students who use our platform, only about 10% are paid. Everybody else is free. So we don't differentiate that, if you have money, you get everything. If you don't have money, you don't get anything. If you don't have money, you get most of the things free of cost. Come to our platform, learn, change the way you want to change the world. This is some of our, offering, right from UG, PG, grade 6, commerce, engineering, civil service, CUT. This year, CA number 1, last year, India number 1. There are quite a few toppers who've used our platform. Last year, 23.5 lakh students appeared for NEET exam. Out of 23.5 lakh, about 8.3 lakh, which is nearly like one third, students used our platform to prepare for the NEET exam. This is our presence nearly everywhere, 99% of India's pin codes. India has about 19,100 some pin codes. So nearly 19,000 pin codes have our students. Physically, we are present in 108 cities, in 190 centers across, pretty much across India, except for some parts which you see as grey. Maybe the team is already working towards creating centers there. About PW Foundation, basically 4 stakeholders. A foundation started a little bit later, after the company started 2 years later. NGO, we do deep partnership with a lot of NGOs, work with communities, education institutions and the government. I'll give some examples. The 6 areas of intervention, the one which is in bold is the key area of intervention, which is the academic and tech support. We also provide a lot of financial support, social and emotional well-being, livelihood skills, health and hygiene and home and shelter. Theory of change. Now this is the most important part, that how do we believe we are going to change education, we are going to democratize education, we are going to create a Viksit Bharat which is independent of the money in pocket. So that's very, very important aspect for us, saying that just because you are poor or you don't have enough money, it should not be that you don't get good quality education. So that's the vision which we drive. Our theory of change has 4 key pillars. Pillar number 1 is make learning journey personalized. Now that's very, very important for us. You know, we all keep talking about this classroom, this factory model, British era education system, etc. 1 in 30, 1 in 40. Each child is different. You go to, talk to 3 children, 3 children are different. And when we talk about 40 children, naturally everybody is different, but the class teacher has to take the class average. The class teacher has to take the class mode or median, as one may choose, to give delivery instructions. So very important for us to give personalized, and we use technology to the hilt to ensure that the question that I am asking, for example, if I ask a question that an answer that I get from the system, same question if ma'am asks, because ma'am is ahead in the learning journey, your answer will be much different than my answer. If sir asks same question, sirs will be different because maybe sir knows more, but sir has not done enough practice. Maybe another thing, ma'am asks the same question, answer could be very different because ma'am's percentage of answers accuracy is higher. So for every student, we capture, on an average student spend about 93 minutes every day on our platform, and in those 93 minutes we capture more than 30 attributes for every student. So therefore, my journey is completely different from anyone else of those 5 crore users. So that's very important. Doing is important, more bigger than knowing. That's another fundamental pillar of belief, that we believe skills is more important than just knowing, especially in today's world. I mean, there have been several sessions around skilling, around the ability to do. Third is technology to democratize. As I mentioned, we use technology to ensure that independent of one's financial capabilities and independent of the kind of device one has, so long as one has a mobile device and internet, we ensure that good quality education reaches everyone's home. In fact, last year we had a few students who had cracked IIT and they'd come to office just to thank some of our faculties, teachers and others. And you would be surprised to, I mean, if anyone looks at their phones, I mean, everybody had a phone, of course. Most phones were broken. In fact, there were certain phones which did not have the power on and off button. They would use pen or pencil to turn on and turn off the phone. So that's the kind of generation that is now cracking IIT and NEET exams and is able to do wonders, because earlier the content and good quality education was limited in the hands of few. Now it is available pretty much to a large section of society. I wouldn't say that all of the country, because there are still very many places where even internet has not reached. Even now, I mean, we assume internet is like water, everybody has internet, but there are quite a few places. So that's another problem that we are solving. And then new models for Viksit Bharat. We cannot be working on what has worked in the last 70, 80, 100 years will take us to the next 50, 60, 70 years. The new models include large scale mega classrooms. New models include interdisciplinary learning. There is no reason why photosynthesis should not be linked with life sciences, should not be linked with chemistry, should not be linked with mathematics, should not be linked with geography. So, but our traditional learning says that, oh no, photosynthesis, you get up and go in bio class and study photosynthesis. So interdisciplinary approach is what makes it very interesting, engaging and also difficult to forget lessons. Just last three more slides on this. So this being the theory of change, how are we doing or what have we done? So I mean, we've done work around teachers, we've done work around entrepreneurship, we've done work around social and emotional development, and we've done work around technology. So these are the 4 areas in which we've worked. However, I'm going to, in the interest of time, I'm going to touch upon 2 key areas, 2 or maybe at the most 3. Government school education, everybody knows that government school education is not good. I mean, there are some examples of Navodaya, Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya and certain others, maybe little bit of Kendriya Vidyalaya, and that's about it. 50% of India's children go to, nearly 50% go to government school, they do not get the best of education. I am not saying private schools are all very good, private schools also are of various different categories, but government school in general need a lot of work to be done, and largely through public and private partnerships that we can achieve. So we've adopted more than 150 schools in the last few months. In fact, significant number of schools in the state of Karnataka, also in the state of Delhi, Maharashtra, Haryana, Gujarat. Last year, over a period of 8 months, the schools which we had adopted in Karnataka were government schools for tribals known as APJ Abdul Kalam tribal schools and Moraji Desai tribal schools. And to everyone's surprise, the state topper of Karnataka came from one of those schools. And that's because the intervention that we did was that teachers were all very highly qualified star teachers. They were all sitting in Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta, Hyderabad, etc. And they were using technology like this to interact with the students, and the local teacher was facilitating. So, we call this as a 2-teacher system model, which we have learned, very cleverly from China, where also China also had, similar problem of very good teachers being limited, availability being limited, but availability only being in big cities. So what we did was, we said, okay, it's not possible to shift, teachers everywhere. So you let the teacher remain in big city. Let us use technology to relay, beam down, have 2-way interactive system, and let the local teacher be there. So the local teacher is responsible for discipline, classroom attendance, management, doubt resolution, etc. The main teacher is responsible for higher order knowledge transmission. So that's how the 2-teacher system model works, and the government of Karnataka was so happy that they said, okay, you double the number of schools this year. So this year we are going to take more than maybe a couple of hundred schools, and then we'll see how it goes. Second is technology for personalized learning. Now this is very important. As I mentioned that each child is different, so we have to focus on personalized AI driven tutor. And that has 2 benefits. One is, of course, my journey is personalized. The other is it is also very efficient. So I don't have to spend, teacher doesn't have to spend time on just listening to the each child problem. There are certain problems which are standardized, which are listened to, which are captured by the AI system, and then automatically processed, and higher order issues and challenges and problems, they bubble up to the teachers. Third is most important aspect, which is emotional health of students, much neglected. We did some analysis over a few 100 crore questions and doubts raised by crores of students, and we realized that 43% of doubts were non-academic in nature. So here all the teaching community and teachers say that, oh no, you must learn calculus, you must learn trigonometry, higher order, complex algebra, and so many different difficult subjects. But then forgetting that if when you look at the child says academics is only half of my challenge. The other half is my emotional challenge, my social challenge, my personal challenge, my psychological challenge, my growing up challenge. Who's taking care of that? Now one could easily say that, oh, I am an educationist. What are you talking about? I'll not look at all this personal stuff, that's for your mother and father to take care of, but that's not the reality. Today's day and age, children hardly talk to their parents. The first person they talk to is their friend, second sibling, and third parents. And then comes teachers, maybe neighbors and some mothers, and then teachers. Whereas it should be the other way around. If I'm spending 8 hours in school or 6 hours or 7 hours in school, I should be able to go up to my teacher and say, sir, I have a problem. I'm not able to focus. Or I have a problem, especially after COVID, there are a lot of these anxiety, depression, inability to focus, inability to sit for long hours. Attention span has gone down to less than 10 seconds. Can you imagine? 10 seconds, you give something to a child and the child reads for 10 seconds and then mind goes somewhere and then comes back. I mean, these are like real problems. But someone has to solve, and we are very happy to tell you that we have set up a team. Of course, we are 4,500 teachers are working towards it. In addition to that, we have set up a team which just works on emotional health of students. And we have currently a small team of about 30-35 trained psychologists. We are planning to scale it up. But that has given great results. When people talk about emotional stress, they only say, oh, extreme cases like suicidal thinking, not wanting to live, going into deep depression, but that's like extreme. There's a big range, everybody has mood swings, everybody has, bad days, periods where, one cannot really focus. So that's the time when such kind of help is needed. And we believe that this is a part of fundamental education. Coming to the last couple of slides. So this is an example of, this is Delhi government real school in Rohini, where between the two teacher system model, this is one teacher, the other teacher is on the other side. Both the teachers put together, they are using technology to provide good quality education to students. 150 schools, we have done more than 20,000 students. Now this is a personalized AI box on the, this black color box that you see on the right. It's like this big. And it has practically everything. It doesn't need internet. You can just put it anywhere in any classroom. It also acts as router. Two-way communication happens. Attendance is automated. What we have realized is, in a class of 35 minutes or 40 minutes, normally teachers take 5 minutes to take attendance. In this, there's no need of taking attendance. There's a small camera that is attached. You go to the classroom, for example, this classroom, if I want to take attendance, it's all automated. Who's asking what questions is also automated. Who's more engaged. Heads dropping is also a raise, a flag raised to the teacher. So if students are not engaged at the desired level, they are all drooping, putting their heads down, the system gives an alert to teacher saying that, Mr. Teacher, Miss Teacher, what are you doing? Your students are not engaged. We are one of the few companies in the country where every student rates every teacher. In earlier days, teachers would come and say, I will rate the student. I will say, okay, you've got A, you've got B, you've got C. In our system, students rate teachers, and teachers are told, saying that, this is not a bad thing to get a C or a D from students, you better improve. Last slide is what I mentioned, 30 plus trained psychologists, 30,000 sessions have already happened. Every day we are taking a couple of incoming and a couple of hundred incoming and outgoing sessions for students to work on their emotional health and support. We call this helpline as Prerna helpline. And this is not just the phone. There are possibilities of meeting a person meeting a psychologist in person or over the phone. However, our experience is most of the students prefer phone because they prefer anonymity over the in-person identification. So this is one very important thing, and that brings us to the end. I short by 1 minute, 2 minutes, sir. Thank you, ma'am.